All right, this is volume 25. Coffee and Charts. Volume 25. All right, as you guys make your way on, please make sure that you like and share the video. If you're tuning in from Facebook. Be sure to follow the TeamAlliance page. If you're tuning in from YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications. If you're tuning in from Twitter, be sure to retweet after you like and share. Um, Shout out to the elevator music. It's good music, man. It's good music. All right, so I hope everyone's having a great Friday. As great as as great as it can be. I think I need to switch this internet. Let me switch this internet real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Switch to my to the range extender just to make sure that I'm getting maximum internet and I don't have no issues with that. All right, so we're back at another Friday. Another Friday. For anyone who's new to this content or new to the NADEX Trading Platform, please feel free to ask whatever questions that you may have. Whether they are regarding the platform or TeamAlliance training, questions about trading in general. If you want to share your own personal experience with trading, that's fine. This is designed for people that want to learn how to trade at the professional level. And ultimately, that means to be profitable when you trade. People associate professionalism with suit and tie. And when it comes to trading, they think that you have to have 17 screens up behind you looking at charts from all of these different charting softwares. And you got to have all of this technical information up that you're looking at. Not the case. You can really simplify things by just learning how to trade on a platform and be profitable on the platform. That's really what makes you a professional. Professionals are good at what they do. Professionals possess a high level of skill with whatever they do. So that's all that makes you a professional. You don't need to be in a suit and tie for that. So I like to talk about that because I just want to, provide clarity with what professional means. People just have associations when it comes to trading. They think that professional trader means that you are on Wall Street somewhere. No. Nope. Don't got to be on Wall Street. All right. So the platform that you are looking at on the screen, this platform is called NADEX. NADEX is a very powerful platform to trade on. NADEX has created an instrument that is referred to as a binary option, which is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at 5-minute binary options, which just simply means that these options recycle every 5 minutes. Oh, excuse me. That was a yawn, by the way. Sound like Tarzan. These binaries recycle every 5 minutes. And what that means is there is an opportunity to trade every 5 minutes, but it doesn't mean that you should be trading every 5 minutes. On the contrary, you can use the 5-minute binaries to basically give yourself the greatest chance to have an opportunity to trade once you have seen the market present the right behavior that ultimately will lead to a profitable trade. So what am I saying by saying that? The market is the reason that people will win or lose a trade, not the trade that the person selected. Now, this is contrary to what most people think, because the average person who's trading thinks that's funny. I just saw this out the corner of my eye. Jungle of charts. Tarzan in the building, right? So I lost my whole train of thought looking at your comments. What was I just saying? The market. Okay, so the market is the reason that a person will win or lose when they do trade. Most people think that picking good trades will be the reason that they'll be profitable. And that's absolutely not. Because what you're considering to be a good trade could lose. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're getting into it already. We're already getting there. What you think is a good trade could lose. So if your good trade can lose, then it's not about the trade, is it? Ain't about the trade, man. So when we deal with trading, and anytime that you hear me make reference to trading or anything that we're doing here, it's at the professional level because of our ability to understand and interpret the market itself. So understanding the market is the reason that you'll be successful. It's also the way that you'll avoid losing your trades. If you actually take the time to learn how to understand and interpret the market's movement, you can turn that into consistent, profitable trades, period. Now, what happens if you don't do that? If you don't take time to learn the market, guess what will happen? You'll continue to do what? You'll continue to lose your trades. The only thing worse than just losing trades outright is losing trades later. You know how some people will be on a winning streak? They'll win some trades. They'll feel great about what they're doing. Oh man, I'm doing good, man. Growing this account. And then out of nowhere, a trade comes and they lose. And then they start to question what it was about the trade. Well, what if I told you that the reason that you were winning any trade is basically pure luck? It was a coin flip each time. So you just so happened to flip the coin and it landed on the side that you chose by chance. By chance, not by design. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. There's a difference between something happening by chance and something happening by design. We want to position ourselves so that when things take place, they take place by design. The only way to do that is to learn the market. I realize that for most people, learning the market is frustrating because throughout the process of trying to learn and understand the market, you can't help curve fitting. In other words, you're still trying to figure out a way to pick trades, even as you're learning how to understand the market. And it's not that. It's what I'm explaining, and it's exactly what I'm saying. You have to take the time to learn how to understand the market. So what this means is that you actually have to stop trading. See, some people get so used to trading and they get used to the idea of trading, winning some trades, and then they'll lose one or two trades and they'll lose all the progress that they made. They're used to that loop. In order to get out of that loop, you have to stop trading for a period of time. Why? Because it takes that time to learn about the market itself. You have to learn what the movement means. I give you specific examples. Let's go into detail. Let's look at where we are right now. You see this area where we are now? Now, to most people, what this looks like is, oh, the market is slowing down. Market is looking pretty good. Let me see if I can get a trade. You know what I see when I see this? I see nothing. There's nothing happening here. Now, when I say that there's nothing, it includes what actually is happening also. Now, if I were to examine what the market is actually doing as far as presenting stability, I can look immediately and I'll know, okay, well, right now we have smaller candles, but let's see if the smaller candles are dominating on the chart. So what I'll do is I'll create a point to begin to watch from. So let's say I take this point here. So I go from here where this vertical line is and I'll look forward. And as I look forward, I'm looking to see how big are the candles. This is information that I can use immediately because by me knowing how big the candles are, I'll know if bigger candles or smaller candles are dominating. So I'll go from here and look forward. So I'll start from here, for example. So this one is 4 micro pips. And I can see visually that subsequent candles are about the same size as this or smaller. So for example, this one, smaller, smaller, about the same, smaller, about the same, smaller, smaller. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 candles here I know are 4 micro pips. And some of you might be wondering like, damn, well, how do you know that they're the same size or smaller? Well, look visually, just look. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. And I want you to look at this candle from top to bottom. So that means from the bottom to the top where the wick is. Look at that candle and then look at the rest of these. You should be able to visually see that all of these candles in this area, let me see if I can put them in an area. All the candles in this area here that are inside the circle are at least the same size or smaller. Just look. Now let's prove it. This is 4. 51 minus 47 is 4. Let's go forward. This one is 2. This one is 2. This one is 4. 3. 3. 3. 2. Was I correct? Absolutely. How'd you know that, Mark? Look. It's visual. Just look. This is how, see, I'm showing you guys something that proves that what I talk about is effective and it works. So you see here, there's 8 candles. All of them are 4 micropips or less. Now, the reason that I stopped there is because here you have a bigger candle, this one. See this one? You look at the size of this one is 7. This one is 7. This one's probably about 5. Okay, so this one is 6. So 7, 6, 7. So you got 3 candles here that are big. So you got 8 small candles, 3 bigger candles, and then what starts to happen here? This one is 4. This one is 5. This one is about, I guess, 8. Yeah, that's 8. So then you have a series of candles that are bigger. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 candles here are bigger. 8 small ones, 5 big ones. I already have a lot of information. So once I'm here, let me duplicate this line. Once I get right here and I'm watching, I know that the area between here and here, there are more smaller candles than big candles, but I still want to see more smaller candles. So this lets me know, okay, we're transitioning. We're transitioning. That's what this information gives me. Lets me know we're transitioning. In other words, we're shifting into the smaller candles dominating. They're not fully dominating yet. We got 8 small ones here, 5 big ones. Now, when we come over here, they go back to smaller ones. Well, actually, right around here. So now let's look from here going forward. So we know from here to the left, the market was transitioning. So now as we go forward, let's look at the candles. So if you just look visually, I'll take the biggest one in this area, which is this one. And let's see how big that one is. That one is 4. So we're back at 4 micropips. So I know that this one here, this is smaller, 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 smaller. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 candles here now, going forward, are small candles. Right? Here comes a big one. Big one, big one. How many candles I said was here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 here, 7 small, 2 big. What was it in the last series? The last series had, what was it? 7 and 5? Was it 7? Wait, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 8. So it was 8 and 5. Now, here you got 7 and 2. right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 big ones, 7 and 2. So more bigger candles, even fewer. More smaller candles, excuse me, even fewer bigger candles. This time you got 7 small, 2 big. Look at what's happening. Now, during this observation, we see that there's more smaller candles, fewer bigger candles. So we know, all right, the market is continuing to transition. And actually now you got more smaller candles. So now let's see what happens after the bigger candles are finished. So we come over here, you got a small one, then you got one here with a wick, and then you got one here. Let's see how big this one is. That one is about 6, so that's a big one. So that's a big one. So let's go to the next one. Let's go here. How big is this? 4. Now we're back at 4 again. So how many big ones did you have in total here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll say 4 altogether. 4 big ones here. And then you had the smaller candles starting to come back again. So now this is the 3rd time that you're seeing the smaller candles come back after bigger candle activity. You see? And each time it's fewer bigger candles. This is how I look at the market. I watch this. Each time I'm looking, I'm seeing fewer big ones, more small ones. So look at how the market is giving you all of this information just through its activity. Because make no mistake about it, the bigger candles mean something different when the bigger candles dominate. When the smaller candles start to dominate, the bigger candles mean something else. It means something else. Just like here, for example, you had 2 big candles here, and then the market positioned itself here. Then you had another 2 ones, and then it basically stayed positioned in the same area. Right in the same area where it stopped here. Look at how the market basically clustered together in the same area after this. So you see how these bigger candles represented a position change. They didn't just represent big candle activity on a chart where big candles are dominating, because the bigger candles are not dominating. There's fewer of them. You see? And as you continue to progress, you continue to recognize this easier. You start to see it more. You see it easier. You don't have to look for it as much. Like, oh, I wonder if. You can look and you'll know. See? So, this is what I mean about learning how to understand the market. If you take the time to study the market this way, the market will tell you everything that you need to know in order to know if the market is stable. And what I just gave you was the interpretation of range. So when you hear me talk about a range, that's what I'm talking about. Smaller candles. When you have smaller candles dominating the chart, that means the market is ranging. Ranging is the first indication of stability. It's the first one. Peter Leonardi says, if you're reaching without thought or patience, you're going to get smacked hard. Step back, train, and focus. In other words, stop trading. Understand too, when I say stop trading, what I'm also saying is stop, is to get out of trade mode. What does that mean? Don't look for trades. Whoa. Damn. What you mean, Mark? Don't look for trades. Learn how to see the market so that you'll know when the market is stable. And then when a trade does come while the market is stable, you know that that trade will win. Man, oh man. That is the science. This is scientific. This is scientific. So as I mentioned earlier, especially if you're newer or if you're just new in general, if you got a question, please feel free to ask. Please feel free to ask. There's a training that I'm going to be doing very soon. I think I'm going to title it Layers of Stability. And the reason that I talk about layers is because just like how you have like layers on a cake, you can't get to the next layer without touching the first layer. When you cut a cake from the top, you got to start from the top. Or let me rephrase that. When you cut a cake, you have to cut from the top layer. You ever see how the cake will have different flavors on each layer? So the top flavor might be chocolate, then the middle will be vanilla, and then the bottom is golden cake, for example. You want to get to the golden cake, but you can't get to the golden cake without cutting through the chocolate cake. The chocolate cake is on top. So you want the golden cake, but you can't get to it without getting through the chocolate. You understand? So this layers. So stability has layers to it, and each layer leads to the next layer. Each layer leads to the next layer. He said my candles look like Forex equity and futures candles. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's funny. I actually do that on purpose because when people do this, what I found them doing is visually they start looking at this. What am I doing? I didn't mean to do that. Visually, they start to look at this and think that all of this is small because the candles are so big. When you take a visual look, you can't really tell what the actual sizes are of the candles. This is something that I caught that people were doing in videos, and that's why I told everybody to not do this, to zoom out. So actually, from this position, which is the maximum position, I think I told you to go out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it was 5. Yeah, zoom out 5. That way, visually, you don't get confused by the candles because you'll be thinking that candles are smaller than they are. Like you'll look at this candle thinking that this is the same size as this when you zoom in. Look. See how big this candle is? It visually you can't really tell the difference between this one and this one, for example. And they're not the same size at all. See, but when you zoom back out, you can see there's a significant difference between this candle and this one. But when you're zoomed in, you can get a false impression of the size. So yeah, it is by design. And I've done that so that other people that are watching the market don't ever get confused. So it's not for me. It's for everyone else. But yes, it is by design, Shawnee, to help folks. Yeah, folks, you know, because I mean, people will figure out a way to mess up something. They will figure out a way to mess it up. And what I make it my business to do is to ensure that everything that you're doing, you can't mess up when you follow the protocol for what I'm giving you. Like, I'm gonna give you stuff that you just can't mess up. That's always my mission. But that's a good question. This is good also. Shawnee says layers of stability gonna be interesting because it sounds the direct opposite of is either stable. Indeed. See, excuse me. The reason that is gonna be interesting is because that statement still applies. The market is either stable or it's not stable. That's a fact. The question is, or the question then becomes, is right now a good time to be in a trade? You see, you do, like, did you catch that? So if the first question is the market stable? You can answer that. Yes, the market's stable. Okay, cool, wonderful. Is right now a good time to be in a trade though? Now you got to think about that. Because now you have to figure out whether or not that stability that's present will be able to manifest into the timing of the trade that you want to take. See? So there's still figuring out that has to be done. You see? But that's good though. That's really good. And I knew that this is why you said that. And Shawnee's saying that it could be a runway for deviation for some people. But I tell you what though, people deviate now without it. Without me going into that, people are deviating. So JT hit it on the head. Look at this. See, because what it is that this is what it is. Some people are going to just deviate regardless. No matter how much I give you as far as clarity, some people still have mindset work to do. See, all right. Here's the question. Why do people deviate? Answer me that. And I actually want to see what y'all say to that. Why do people deviate? Angel, I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you. Whoa. My question was, why do people deviate? This is what Angel said. Wow. Oh shit. Here we go. Maui Jeff. Mindset. All day. Impatient. What is patience part of? Mindset. Look at Mel. Patience. Mindset. Peter says, deep in their minds, they're trying to find the easy way. Looking for a shortcut. A shortcut. Mindset. Come on now. Look what Mo says. This is really what it is. They're used to doing the BS. And Ro hit it on the head too. Impatience. So that's why people deviate. So people don't deviate because the process is too difficult or there's not enough clarity with what I'm teaching you. That's not why people deviate. People deviate because they skip the first part of the process. What's the first part of the process? People deviate because they skip the first part of the process, which is what? What's the first part of our process? Somebody gonna type it. Mindset. All day. Your little typed it at the same time. David said range. I can't say no to that. Range is the first part of the next part of the process. Oh man. Oh, Angel said range too. You're kind of right. So look at what David said here. People deviate because their eagerness to get the bag. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to become the bank. Very good. See? And Forrest said it also. No discipline, no patience. So the mindset work needs to be done first. So the reason that we do 301 or repeat is mindset. All right. In the 301 playlist, there's 4 videos. The first one is 301. The next one I think is 301 mindset. Then it's stability training. And then it's where I'm talking about I forgot what I was talking about in that one. It was a podcast. It's a podcast. That's the 4th video in that playlist. Before people even come into training, I send them to the 301 mindset video. This is why. Until your mindset is where it needs to be, you will deviate from the process that you're learning. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Mindset is the key. Shawnee is saying, I believe Mark's rule, move, hold, hasn't been talked about as much lately. Most, if not all, the shenanigans could be eliminated with Mark's rule, move, hold. Gotta have dinner before the dessert. I agree. And what's so funny is MRMH is what I talk about every day. Now, the dialect is different now because of the elevation. But when I talk about the layers of stability, that's MRMH. Layers of stability equals MRMH. RCB leads you into MRMH because when you have RCB and the market positioned itself, that'll be the trade that you'll end up in. And when you observe that trade and take it in your head, pause. But when you take that mentally, that's MRMH. We talked about MRMH being permission. And so, in other words, until you visually see an actual trade manifest during stability, you don't have permission to do anything. Once you do see that, you now have permission. Permission to do what? What most people will think is that you have permission to take the next trade. That is not what you have permission to do. What you have permission to do is to enter the next time a trade comes. Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. When you have MRMH, MRMH is permission. Permission to do what? To enter the next time a trade comes. When? During what? Stability. Oh. So we're still observing to make sure stability is still present. We don't just enter into a trade. We don't just take a trade because MRMH came. We don't just take the next trade. We continue to do what? Observe. For what? Stability. Why? So that when another trade does come, that'll be the trade that we enter. And it'll only take place during stability in the market. So again, you're still in observation mode. You're still not in trade mode. Look, Shawty mad at me. You said I simplify stuff with such precision. It's annoying at times. I mean, because it's true. It's very true. See, what is so interesting to me is that people will create a rebuttal for something that works. Jay Carly says something consistently. I don't know if you guys ever catch it, but she says that she never lost a trade that she applied parameters to, that all parameters were met during. Now that's a very powerful statement because you're like, what? But aren't we supposed to do this, this, and this before we apply parameters? Yeah. And guess what? Parameters are only validated when you have the prerequisite. So you shouldn't be applying parameters if the prerequisite is not met. Whoa. See, before MRMH, we used to apply parameters and we had to feel the market to know it was stable first. This was way back. I'm taking y'all back to like 2017. I didn't develop MRMH yet. I used to tell everybody, you got to feel the market. You got to feel it. Then apply the parameters. And it's like, well, damn, what does that even mean? But we were doing it. Because the process is the same, even if the process doesn't have a name yet. Whoa. See, over time, through evolution, name has been given to the process. That's all this is that I'm talking about now. Layers of stability. What's layers of stability? What's 301? 301 got 3 phases in it. 3 phases. Stability got several layers in it. It might sound different, but it's the same thing. Phase 1, environment. What environment? Slow. What does that mean? Smaller candles. Oh, shit. When the candles are small, the market's moving slow, ain't it? Phase 2, behavior. How is it moving? Wicks on the candles? Yeah, there's still wicks. All right, it's not stable yet. That's reversal energy still. Candles are small, but they got wicks all over the place. All right, we got to keep watching. Phase 2 ain't confirmed yet. Wicks stopped coming on the candles. Phase 2 is confirmed. The candles are moving and holding now. What does that sound like? Barrier. What does hold mean? Hold mean it went somewhere and it stopped. Hold on, wait. Hold means it went somewhere and then it stopped. That's a barrier. Look at what I'm doing. So when phase 2 is confirmed, what does it sound like? Barrier was tested successfully. Barrier was respected. What does respected mean? It means it held. Yo. Am I talking about something different? Nope. Same shit. It's the same. So you'll see where I'm going. Where I'm going is where we are already. Oh man, this shit is crazy. I know. And I know it's like it's funny, but it's not funny. Every time that we go through this, like, damn, he did it again. Of course. Because anytime that you think something is new, you realize that it ain't new. It's just elevation of what you already were doing. That's all it is. But of course, people like the shiny ball. So they feel, they think, oh, this is something, this is the new shit. Yeah, it's the new old shit. This is good. Look at what JT says. Look at this. That's it right there. He said, I absorbed the new perspective to the same repetitive process. In other words, it didn't change. It didn't change. Shine your current balls. I like that, Jay Carly. That was clever. Walker, what's happening? She said it's irritating to me how easy this is. See, Every live market observation. This is why I go through the. If you notice, I go through the process every time that we do an observation. As I'm talking, just me talking is the process. A little while ago, when you watch the replay of this, go back and you'll see what I was doing when I was talking about the candles. Went and looked and saw how big were the candles. We saw how big the candles were. We saw that the market was transitioning to smaller candle dominance, which gives meaning to what the bigger candle represents. So when you get a big candle during small candle dominance, you know what it means. It's not confusing at all. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure several people did. And that was exactly what Shawnee is saying here. Because people were being subjective, they were deviating from the process at that time. So as time went by, what did I do? I continued to implement things that would eliminate the possibility of you messing up the process. So the one thing that I've always done, I've ensured that you can't mess it up. You definitely can't mess it up, but you can deviate from it. In other words, you can do something else. And that's where the mindset comes in. That's the part you always have to work on the most, because your development of mindset is what will ensure that you don't deviate from the process at all. Even if it means you don't trade at all. Whoa, hold on. It might mean you don't trade for a while because you're not deviating. I tell you one good thing about when you train and then you begin to observe and you start recording and you start, paper trading or whatever you're doing as far as taking trades. When you start to do that and you start saying, well, I'm not finding any trades. If you're saying you're not finding any trades, that's a good thing. That's good. Because it means that you're not deviating from the process, for one, because if you were, you would try to force your way into a trade. Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. If you just trade until your heart's content, you forcing your way in. If you're not finding any trades, good. Keep applying the process. Keep working, because eventually the trade will come. See, this is what it is. You want the trade to come because you applied the process. You don't want a trade to show up because you forced one. Whoa. Come on now. Are y'all catching this? Sheesh. Y'all got to catch this. You don't want to be in a trade that you forced. Mm-hmm. This is only 4 mic. Is it? No, this is 6. My bad. This is 6 micropips here. This one with the wick. And that right there is some reversal energy. Okay. Move the box. Move the box. Big transition candle is important, but you still got to get to MRMH. And also, Mark, would a big transition candle be the same as phase one? What is a big transition candle? What is that? Just so I'm clear with what you're saying. This is Don DeMarco right here. Don DeMarco. Get him, Peter. You said the job is to observe, not stink and trade. Wow. Get him, Peter. Otis, what's happening? Shauna, you heard my question, right? I know it's a delay on here. Oh, well, my question is what is a transition candle? You said big transition candle. What is that? Oh, the position change. Okay. So let me read what you said again. You said big transition candle is important, but you still got to get to an MRMH. And also, would a big transition candle be the same as phase one? So, so in other words, would a position change be the same as being in phase one? You're asking that because there would be more movement in it. I'm assuming that that's what you're saying. Because it's a bigger candle, it has more micro pips in it. Is that still under phase one? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Well, phase one is one micro pip of speed. So when you look at that movement, just look at the speed in the candle, and that'll let you know if you're still in the slow environment. More than likely, you will be. Most of the time, it's just more pips in the movement during a position change candle when you have overall smaller candle activity and smaller candle dominance. The bigger candle just represents more pip moves, but it doesn't represent faster pip moves necessarily. But I'm I don't be technical about it. I just know that if there is overall smaller candle dominance and the market is ranging that way, and that's what is dominating on the chart, When there is a big candle, I just wait for that to start back over again. So to be honest, I don't really even care what the candle did. I just see that, I just know that it's a bigger candle and that there was more pips of movement in it, but I'm actually looking at what's happening after that. So I'm looking like for example, if you take this one, and I'm pointing this one out because I was watching at the time and I remember this. This one was a position change right here, right? Then you had the market move back into smaller candles right in here. You see? So that's an example of what I mean. You had smaller candles that preceded the move, and then smaller candles that came subsequent afterwards. So typically when you have the smaller candle activity that's dominating on the chart, you'll see this as an example. Now, of course, it's not always gonna just always look the same. So if you let's say that you came on and you were watching during this movement, you see all these bigger candles. These are bigger candles that you're seeing, right? Bigger candles. Then you start here to see the candles start to get small when you get right here. So you have small candles here, then you have a move, and then you have small candles again. Now, this activity here is really what you're seeing as far as transition. This will represent transition from these bigger candles. If when you first came on, this is what you first saw. You saw bigger candles first, then you started to see this happen. So you know what this represents while you see these smaller candles here, and then you see subsequent smaller candles afterwards. It's the activity, because you're still seeing smaller candle activity now. So because of this and this, now when you get another bigger candle during this activity, which is here, this now is setting up what could become the smaller candle activity resuming again. You see? And now if you look at the candles in the midst of this, you're seeing wicks on the candle. So you know that there's still energy present that is not stable. So you just continue to observe and wait. So all of this is never about trying to figure out when to enter a trade. It's figuring out whether or not it makes sense to be in a trade if one comes. So if I'm seeing smaller candle activity, then ultimately I'm seeing smaller candle dominance. That right there solidifies the timing for me. But during this time, you're seeing transition. Like this represents transition because these candles back here were big. This is big candle activity back here. So what does that make this? It makes this not the dominant yet. Excuse me. But when you have this and then you had this, now you're seeing the transition. You see? Even here, you had this move here, and I think we were looking during this too. And I said, there's reversal energy right there. And sure enough, the reversal energy turned into this, but these candles are still smaller. Then you had another big one. Then you had small ones again. And now you still have another big one. So overall, what this represents to me is transition. Now, I'm not saying that we have smaller candle dominance because I'm taking all of this into consideration, all of this, and when this started to happen. See, so this is letting us know, all right, we could be transitioning to smaller candles dominating, but we're not fully there yet. Not only that, the movement that you're seeing has wicks on the candles. That's letting you know we're not fully there yet. So you see how it's like you're just constantly observing to eliminate the possibility of stability not being there. If there's anything that indicates that stability is not fully there, you'll see it. Wicks on the candle, it ain't there yet. Still got too many bigger candles, it ain't there yet. Right? So you're seeing all the reasons why not. And those reasons why not just mean continued observation. So there's never anything that we're doing that puts us under pressure to figure out if a trade is valid. Because the only thing that validates a trade is stability. The rules for entering a trade don't validate the trade. They validate the entry. Whoa, hold on, whoa. And this right here just simplifies it. Look, tighten the box before and after the position change. That simplifies it. That simplifies it. Because if you try to take transition and then you try to enter when you see the market transitioning, is your confidence fully there in the stability that you do see? See, so there, in other words, there could be layers of stability present, but what layer of stability is not there yet? Whoa. Whoa. You ain't think about that, right? So let that be the question. What layer of stability ain't there yet? And look how that leans right into the terminology. It ain't there yet. Don't we say that all the time? Now you'll be able to give further meaning to it. Once I do the layer of stability training, you'll give meaning to that. More meaning. Because you'll in your mind, you'll be like, yeah, it ain't there yet because this layer is not there. You see? Well, what layer is not there? Well, we don't have smaller candle dominance yet. That's the first layer. So we can't care about barriers and all that. We don't even got smaller candles dominating yet. You see? This is what I'm talking about. You can't get to the golden cake without touching the chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is on top. That's what you touch first. Yep, right there. I just caught this. Oh, snap. Angel getting that JT. That's funny. Wow. She said trade hub. Oh, shit. NADEX XXX. Wow, that's funny. That is funny. Shiny, the box covers 20 micros. That's a ton. So I kick a lot of behavior to the curb immediately, even if in the box. Yeah, because you got discipline. And that's good to do. That's good to do. Because like JT said, you want it tight in the box. You want the box tight. Shout out to the tight box, man. Yeah, y'all stupid. Shout out to the tight box. Yeah, I know. Y'all are insane. Nuts, man. Y'all are nuts. All right, let me see something. See, just hey, you started it, Angel. You started it. You gotta leave JT alone. He always like that. Don't feed him. Do not feed the beast. All right, isn't the transition is the extension that you talked about last year that we were so slow to catch, so you eliminated from our dictionary? Isn't transition the extent? Transition is it's not actually. It's a part of it, but it's not the actual thing that I was talking about. It's part of it when it has to do with speed, because you can have the market holding and just moving faster and more pips. So in other words, you can have that layer of stability during speed. Boy, oh boy. And I'm trying to stay away from that. This is another reason why the layers are so important. Definitely. Definitely. Keeps you focused. That's for Angel right there. Oh snap! Right, where was your mind at? Oh snap! So y'all be cutting up on Fridays. Otis says when the instability dissipates and the layers of stability dominate, you're in the right place. That's hard. Yeah, that's hard right there. That's hard. For the new verbiage. Yeah, I'm sure something will come out of it. Yeah, he put him on the hook, and you bit it. He's like, I got her. Yeah, y'all crazy, man. Yeah, but so I mean, this is making a lot more sense though. Like as we continue to cover this, it just continues to make more and more sense as time goes by, because you're seeing it's not even similarities. It's the same thing. Like I would be wrong if I said there's a similarity between MRMH and RCB. There's no similarity. They are the same thing. The layers of stability in MRMH are the same thing. They're the same. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, his subliminal game is on point. I give it to him. Yeah, this is good though. This is good. This is good. Yeah, so I'm kind of feeling like I'll probably do the training next week. That's how I'm feeling. Cause I'm in the zone now with it. So I think I probably need to do it next week. I think so. It might be as early as Sunday though. I ain't even gonna lie. It could be Sunday. Could be Sunday. Yep. We will see. Jay Carly begging now. That's why I hate saying anything. That's why I said could. There's a high probability that it will be Sunday. And the answer to this is yep. Absolutely. Nothing changes as far as what it is. The only thing that changes is how you see it. That's hard. Damn. That's hard right there. The only thing that changes is how you see it. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot about that. Right. Monday is Labor Day, right? So, well, we got to see what the schedule is for NADEX. I don't know if they open Sunday and then close Monday and then reopen Sunday night. I be doing weird stuff. Like it'll open from 6 and then close at 8 in the morning and then reopen at 6 at night. Like I wonder if it's weird like that. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, perspective always. Perspective. So what is it, Jay Carly? Because I don't be scrolling in the chat. So is it what I just said? It opens Sunday night and then it'll close Monday morning. You gotta tell me. I don't feel like looking over there. 6 p.m. open on Sunday. All right, cool. All right. So that actually is motivating me even more to do a Sunday night. Okay. Walker said it's a scam. He said Labor Day's a scam. They don't want us to observe the market. Stupid. Oh, okay. Close at 11 a.m. All right, cool. I was close. I said 8. Close at 11 o'clock in the morning. And then does it reopen on at 6 p.m. on Monday? Does it reopen at 6 p.m. Monday night? Yes or no? Let me see how good I am. It does? Oh shit. Come on. Shout out to me, man. Can't tell me nothing about this NADEX, boy. Shit. Maui Jeff, phases in RCB is like stability in the micro and macro of the market. Yes. Yes. See, the OGs understand. Otis, does it depend on how the market looks at the time? Yeah, I mean, everything depends on how the market looks at the time. That's why we use all of this to be able to recognize what we're seeing at the time. Make sense? So the question is always, what are you seeing at the time? Are you seeing the stability that the market is presenting? Or are you not? Because that's ultimately what this boils down to. The market will present stability through its layers. It starts with the first one. What's the first one? We know that. What's the first indication of stability? You've heard me say this time and time again. Range. What does range look like? Smaller candles dominating the chart. That's what range looks like. That's the first indication of stability. That's the first layer. And then the subsequent layers are everything that we recognize afterwards. And we're gonna get to the nitty gritty when I do the training. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good because all it's gonna do is give clarity and identity to what we're doing even further. Like we already have identity. We already know what MRMH is. We know what RCB is. We know that after RCB, you need the position and you need pricing on the option. And pricing is not something that you have to see. Hold on, wait. Whoa. Pricing is not always something you got to see. There's plenty of times where you'll click in when a trade comes and you don't see pricing at all. Yet you get filled. That's what I mean. So just because you didn't see the pricing don't mean it wasn't there. Hold on. Whoa. But this only is relevant when the market is stable. See, that don't apply when the market's not stable and you're in a trade mode. That only applies when the market is stable and you're in market mode. The same way that you only enter off the +1 when you're in range. See, we got a lot to go over and to just give clarity on. I'm going to be clarifying a lot of things that we talk about now, and it'll be in that one concise training. It might be over a period of 2 trainings, maybe. It depends on how much I can get in the one. But the layers of stability, that's the foundation for the training. It's going to be good. All right, so I'm hoping that it will be Sunday evening. Right now, that's how it's looking. That's what I'm shooting for. All that good stuff. All right, so this is Coffee and Charts. This is volume 25. Volume 25. Jay Carly out of her mind. What is this? What is that? All right, y'all. So y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. Another one in the bag. I'll see you guys in the group chat. And I will see y'all hopefully on training Sunday night. Everyone else will be back on Coffee and Charts or Live Market Observation or the podcast next week. All right? Okie doke. See you then. Dom de Marco.